Hey everybody, Motorpoet 59 here. Well, looks like the Democrats pulled it off. The Republicans retained the Senate, gained a few seats, but the presidency is lost. The last I looked, it was 264 to 214, and they say they're not done counting in a couple of states, but those states, there aren't that many electoral votes up to close that gap. They're talking about doing recounts and suing for voter fraud and yada, 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 the same crap that the Democrats pulled in 2000 when George Bush won. Things were a lot different then. Nobody was really being accused of harvesting votes the way the Democrats are being accused of harvesting them now. But even that, now knowing that that kind of stuff goes on, knowing that it has gone, they've been caught doing it in other elections, I don't think it's going to change anything. Knowing something and proving it are two different things, and the Democrats have no moral code, they have no moral center, and that includes their supporters, that includes the voters. They have proven that they have no moral center. Joe Biden has no moral center, the Democrat Party has no moral center, and Kamala Harris certainly has no moral center. If the Republican candidates had been such horrible people, they would never have been allowed to represent the Republicans. You can say what you want to about Republicans and the Republican candidates, but I defy you to provide an example of any despicable, disgusting things, any criminal activity that any of the anybody since Richard Nixon, provide an example of anything that the presidential candidates or presidents for the Republican Party have been involved in. And Richard Nixon's only crime was covering up Watergate. He didn't know anything about the break-in until later. Joe Biden is a creeper. I don't care what anybody says. I have to ask you Democrats this, you voters. Would you want him grabbing your daughter like that, holding her like that, sticking his face in her neck? The discomfort those women and young women were showing was palpable. And had I been the father of one of those girls, first of all, I would never allow my girl to be involved in a Democrat function. But if that would have been one of my kids, I'd have punched him right in the mouth, and I don't give a shit what the consequences were. He would have thought twice before he ever done it again. But I guess if you're a Democrat and a liberal or a progressive and you want some sort of notoriety for your kid or something, you're willing to allow that to happen and without consequence. That makes you a horrible parent and a horrible human being. If you can live with that, so can I. The mainstream media said nothing about Joe Biden's being complicit in the Russia-China deal that his son is involved in. He has been lying about not even talking to his son. All that's been proven to be a lie, and he's involved in it. And I don't know if anything will ever come of it because the media is never going to report on it. I don't know what will legally come of that. But if something does come of that and he ends up being, if this all comes out and it's all true, he could very well be impeached. And that is a high crime. That's not something that was whipped up out of thin air like the Democrats did with Donald Trump. And I hope it happens before 2 years is up, so Kamala Harris won't get a 10-year run. She will only get to run one time. And I'm not stunned. I'm really not even all that surprised. I don't know, I guess I am surprised. I really thought that even the Democrat voter base would have a stronger moral code than to allow a very, very strange person like Joe Biden to become the man to run this country. As I've said in my other tape, I don't think he'll run anything but his mouth. His handlers will take care of him. They will steer him and guide him and not let him get into anything too deep. With the Republicans holding the Senate, I think we're going to be okay anyway for the next couple of years because they're not going to have the votes to do all these things they want to do, like pack the court, get rid of the electoral college, and lower the voting age to 17. But generally, historically, the first midterm after an election, whatever party is holding the House there usually ends up going back to the House of the President. That will likely happen again. We'll see. It all depends on what happens between now and then. But if it's and I think that the handlers are going to realize that they need to not jump into anything too quickly and show their hand. Life's going to go on. I'm not even going to say I'm bummed out. I'm disappointed. There's no doubt about that. I think Donald Trump was doing a great job, and all the political pundits all agree, all the ones that I've heard, probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 of them now, agree that if it wasn't for COVID-19, Donald Trump would be our president right now. The mainstream media and the Democrats all played on the fears of a weak and gullible American public, easily panicked. Most Americans aren't stupid, but they are gullible, and they are easily panicked. They are prone to listen to the last person they talk to and act on that. And it's funny that they still do it, because so many dozens of times in history, their decision has been proven to be a poor one. And but they still do it. Maybe that's humanity. I'm not one of those people. I'm glad to say that I'm a lion. I'm a lion among lambs. I have no fear of anything except something bad happening to my children, my grandchildren. Other than that, I'm not afraid of anything at all. But all Democrats, all liberals, progressives, most independents, you guys are cowards. You're afraid. You're afraid of the next thing that comes down the pike. And if the Democrats start becoming weak politically, I can guarantee you that they'll drag something else out and parade it before you, and you'll cower down again. You've proven to the government now that they don't have to enact any laws. They don't have to get the police involved or anything. All they have to do is play on your fears and tell you to stay home, tell you to wear masks, tell businesses they can't open. All these freedoms that we enjoy in America, all they have to do is parade some disease out that is never going to kill as many people as the seasonal flu has already killed over the years and will continue to kill forever. COVID-19 is going to fade away. Whatever else does or doesn't happen, COVID-19 will fade away. We all said that as soon as Biden got elected, the hysteria about COVID-19 would diminish quickly, and I still believe that. There's nothing they can do about it. One of their promises, we'll do this, we'll do that with COVID-19. What do you think, they're not trying right now or something? You think the medical field isn't doing all they can do? You think Donald Trump was holding them back? The Democrats can do nothing about COVID-19 except start downplaying it the same way they played it up over the last year. I'm not going to do anything differently in my life. I'm not going to go pout. I'm not going to be one of those "you stole the election" people like the Democrats did for the entire 8 years of George W. Bush's administration. Do I think they stole it? Let me just say that something's fishy. I really think that something is rotten in Denmark. Whether it was enough to turn the election, I don't know. Probably not, because like I said, I don't think that all the investigations, whatever they do, I don't think it's going to change anything. It'll show that the Republicans are just as willing to fight as the Democrats were in 2000. And the Democrats had already stated that if Trump won, they already had legal teams and everything all set up to sue the Republicans over the election results. So they're just getting what they would have given. So we'll see. Like I said, I think for the next 2 years we'll be okay. After that, we'll just have to see what happens. And God bless America. I think things are going to get worse economically. I think that the Democrats are going to raise taxes. That is, well, they've already said that was their plan. They're going to go after the Constitution. I think they're going to. They've been trying to dismantle the Bill of Rights for years. Now I think they'll try to dismantle the Constitution. We'll see if they succeed. But anyway, Joe Biden's going to be our new president. Whatever his decisions are, we'll have to live with, and we can piss and moan about them. I have a feeling that the Democrats are going to be disillusioned with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and who knows? Maybe they'll just be a one-term presidency, because I do believe that the plan is to get Harris into the presidency prior to the next election somehow, and after 2 years have gone by. We'll see what happens. What do you think? You think something's rotten in Denmark? You think the Republicans have a chance of turning this around in a recount? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motorpoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content, and we'll see you all later.